We avoid having open conversations about sex and then fret over having unprotected sex, despite understanding that it puts a lot of lives at risk. We avoid having open dialogue around sensitive topics like these in our household because we have to live up to an image of being good. However, we prefer kicking ourselves in our butt when we experience some of the harshest realities around this. We think that love is the end of everything. It is seen as such a glorious and noble reality. However, the data speaks otherwise. Yo guys, namaskaram. So today I wanted to talk about certain habits which I've observed in a lot of people around me. The title is mostly the mediocre Indian habits that we must absolutely avoid to not die in vain, at least. So the first thing is we give no weightage to daily exercise, but instead prefer spending large amounts of money in the hospital to save ourselves when life hits rock bottom. We claim to be very religious, yet many of us haven't even read the life of its founding members in its entirety, nor do we prefer reading the scriptures, despite being arrogant to the point that it becomes outright stupid. We're not consistent in things that matter. It can be a new habit that you yourself want to do or are trying to form, which is worthwhile in one sense. Following up that makes us shine is a rare thing. We feel consistency is our enemy and we want to always look for makeshift, jugaad, instead of actually putting in the work. We force things onto others without even understanding even 1% of that thing. If someone tries to put in an argument, we deflect it either to culture or start involving the class in the picture and whatnot. We start attacking that person's past and his mistakes, which are totally irrelevant to the argument. We like keeping people up on a pedestal just because they can speak well, they can shout well in front of 1,000 idiots. These can be a so called religious leaders who have hardly anything of worth in their actions. Just because they can sweet talk, a lot of people in a mob kind of believe them. Or let's say politicians who blatantly lie to your face. We believe these people because the group slash mob believes in them. We judge and attack anything that is different from our own understanding and experience of life. We try to curb fresh ideas and innovation by giving a twisted logic around morality and all sorts of things. We don't like people who are improving in their lives and want to bring them down to our level. We avoid having open conversations about sex and then fret over having unprotected sex, despite understanding that it puts a lot of lives at risk. We avoid having open dialogue around sensitive topics like these in our household because we have to live up to an image of being good. However, we prefer kicking ourselves in our butt when we experience some of the harshest realities around this. We think that love is the end of everything. It is seen as such a glorious and noble reality. However, the data speaks otherwise. So many people have ruined their lives and their potential just because they fell in love and they are unable to move on. We want to act fast despite even knowing what the problem is. And we want to feel like we are all sorted and complete from the outside. We love keeping up pretenses and think that we need to fit in the group just to get liked by people. We don't honor friendships and do everything in our power to act mean and crooked. We take everything at face value without even questioning anything. We want to know things first and tell them first to other people so that we can feel superior about our own selves. We love isolating facts and exaggerating them to the point that it creates hysteria. We don't want people to experience things, nor do we want to experience things ourselves, but just give opinions and opinions about things whom we have hardly any data about. We like winning through our words and not through our actions. We like counting our excuses and problems more rather than finding ways to solve them. We do not encourage playing sports and kill that spirit within a lot of people. If someone is trying, we try curbing him or her just because he might learn something different in life. This is also prominent, let's say, a person who is above 50 and wants to try something new in life. Like, there's not a sense of involvement with life per se. We like getting married earlier, even if it is not the ideal partner, just so we aren't left behind. We always feel like competence can be replaced by having your own jacks in the system. It might work on some level, but on a long term basis, you're just coming out to be a loser. You're not developing your competence. We do not like basing ourselves on science, but on a lot of religious and cultural superstitions and unverified beliefs. We hate reading and attack people who are just studying to improve themselves. We are not aiming for excellence because we believe that there is no point to well being. We claim to be spiritual but is in the least spiritual. We name the greatness of sages that have walked in this country yet don't even have the courage to follow the path of excellence that they have told us about. The friendship between a boy and a girl is outright seen as evil things. We talk about being an open society yet judge our feelings of love by first seeing which caste they belong to. We want to curb those feelings of friendships and also establish a lot of self esteem issues in both the genders. Girls become super cautious as to whom they talk to. They try ghosting a lot of folks who might approach them with a genuine interest to know more about them. Boys, on the other hand, are mostly unable to talk to opposite genders because everyone punishes them and sees them as evil people. We want to remain poor in all aspects of life and then have a discussion about the evil system of capitalism. We want to blame the government for our problems instead of improving our own lives from ground up, which requires genuine efforts to improve. We like body shaming other people on a so called perfect standard, which God only knows what exactly is, and then try killing the self esteem of a lot of folks. We believe violence is the answer to everything instead of actually having the spirit to conduct a dialogue and arrive at a sensible answer for the well being of all the parties involved in the long term. We also believe that whatever the group slash mobs believe to be true, we should also believe that to be true without even questioning that. But anyhow, this is just part one of this series. So the aim is to kind of just develop a sense of awareness towards these things, and I'll come up with a part two soon. So anyhow, this is Debashish Pindra from Debukidastak signing off. Cheers.